All right, guys. So this video is going to introduce you to our final assignment in Bio 131. So our goal here is to get you thinking about where you might like to go after you're done at BU. So we have an example. Dean Kaufman put his information in here because I stole this assignment from him. So it gives you the different years that he was at Ball State, tells you about halfway through, looks like he switched his major. That's completely normal. Most college students are going to switch their major at least once. It's pretty rare to stick with the same thing all the way through. Um, so sometimes you need to be flexible, which is really important. If you find something that you're into and you enjoy it, that's going to be way more rewarding than something that, oh, you'd make a lot more money doing this. Maybe I'd enjoy it, but you get there, you try it, and you're miserable. So it's always good to have at least a thought of maybe some different things that you think you'd like to do long term. So that's another part of this assignment. So for the first part, you are going to pick two schools that you are interested in transferring to once you leave BU. Go to their webpage, find the department that is going to contain the majors that you're interested in. That for you guys probably will be like a College of Science, uh, maybe I don't know, like life science. It just depends. Different schools will have different ways that they categorize the different divisions within their college. So just go to the site and kind of figure out, okay, what's the path that I need to go to get to the majors that I'm interested in. So once you do that, you've made it to the list of majors for that college and that department. Pick two that you think you might like to pursue after VU. So if you're someone who is interested in being, I don't know, let's say a forensic pathologist, um, you might choose forensics as your major. You might also choose cell biology, molecular biology. So there are many different majors that sometimes can lead to a career. So that's also something to keep in mind. If you do specialize in something very specific, sometimes, like let's say you took a lot of the same classes that someone with a chemistry major did, um, but that wasn't necessarily the majority of your classes. So they might have some type of degree in chemistry, you might have a degree in something else. And so when you're going from like different areas in science, like from chemistry to biology, they're very different. Um, Sometimes you could do like a double major if you're just really torn between two. If you feel up to that, go for it. I applaud you. But the part of the fun thing is just trying to figure out what you're interested in. And that can change, and that's totally normal. So if that happens, it's okay. All right, so once you find the two majors for each college, and if they are the same majors, that's fine. You might be fairly certain that this is what you're interested in, and you really aren't interested like in anything else. That's absolutely fine. So just pick two majors from both of the schools, and then with those two majors, a way that is really helpful sometimes to get in contact with other people that are interested in this specific type of science, like microbiology. That was my major. Not a lot of people want to talk to you about microbiology, and you get a lot of glazed looks, things like that. But if you really want to have an avid conversation about microbiology, you can probably find a professional organization like American Society for Microbiology. You could, talk in like forums and things like that. And you can actually converse with people that are really interested in this really weird area of science that you are, which is very cool. And so professional organizations are going to be like important whenever you are, finally in your major, maybe when you're in graduate school, because they're going to give you contacts with other people in this area of science that you're all interested in. And that can lead to many different job opportunities that you may not have seen because they may not have been posted with the same job sites. All right, so once you have picked those majors, just find some professional organizations that would fit with that major. So if you, for me, microbiology, American Society for Microbiology, it was really, really easy. And I think Dean Kaufman, fisheries majors, okay? They have fisheries societies that you might be able to, be a part of and be able to talk to other people that are interested in that science. All right, so then the second part for this is to come up with a list of potential jobs that you could get with each of these majors. Um, List jobs that you think you might like. And if you're finding that there aren't any jobs under that major that really sound like you, maybe you need to, I don't know, think about a different major or something like that. But generally, just write down some jobs that would be available if you had that degree from that university. And then what education level? Some of them are going to require more. Like if you wanted to be the forensic pathologist, you're going to have to go to medical school. You're going to have to do residency. You're going to have to specialize in pathology. So there's a lot more work that's going to go into it, a lot more education that's going to be required. And then salaries will vary. Generally, it's better do something that will make you happy, that you could see yourself doing for 10, 20, 30 years. Because you all are young. You're going to be working for a long time. So you should do something that you really feel passionate about and that you enjoy. So don't necessarily get caught up in salaries. All right. So the first part was just finding the two schools. Within those two schools, finding two majors, then finding some professional organizations that would fit well with those majors, and then just coming up with a list of jobs. Let's say 5 jobs. And then just write next to it or type next to it. You're going to be submitting this on Blackboard. The education and salaries for those 5 jobs. All right, then for part 2, oftentimes whenever you are trying to figure out what you're doing, if you can get some guidance from someone who is already in a career that you're interested in, that can be extremely helpful because they can give you the viewpoint of someone who actually is doing this career. They also might have some really good advice for you, like, oh, you definitely want to be sure that you're in, volunteer activities or job shadowing activities that are going to specifically focus on something or else. And they will know this. All right, so you're just going to locate the email of someone that is in a profession within one of those majors. Then you're going to send them an email. Yes, you are going to email a stranger, and you're going to basically just explain who you are and what this assignment is about, and that your goal here is to get any advice that they might have on how to be successful as you are working towards the profession that they are currently in. And then you will actually just attach a copy of that email to the document that you will submit, or you can copy paste, whatever works for you. So what you will be turning in, you're going to have web addresses for 2 universities' departments. For each of those universities, 2 majors that you're interested in. So if you want to pick 4 different things, you would have 4 total majors combined. Then you're going to come up with a name and web address of a professional organization for each of the majors that you've chosen. Obviously, if you've chosen like the same majors just at different universities, that's fine. You're just not going to have an additional professional organization. All right, then for each of those majors, you're going to list 5 jobs, and then you are going to list the level of education that ultimately would be required to have a career in that type of field. And then just get an estimate of salary. It's very easy to look that stuff up online. And then just copy paste your email into the last part of the document. And then number 6 for this is writing a paragraph, basically, just thinking about what you learned by doing this. Do you have a lot more work that you need to do in terms of figuring out what you would like to do in the future? Did you see something or an odd major listed somewhere that you had never heard about? And maybe that's something you're interested in pursuing and you want to learn more about that. So if anything like that happened, that's great. Tell me that in the paragraph where you're kind of reflecting on what this assignment has shown you. All right, guys, so this is due on Friday by midnight at Blackboard. If you have any questions at all, please don't forget, you can always ask me. We have an office hour tomorrow from 10 to 11, so I will be online if you need to get help with anything. All right, thanks, guys.